Okay, welcome back. So now we're going to set up restarting the game, as you can see here on the screen. So let's go ahead and get that set up. Okay, so I'm going to make a new event. And I'm just going to copy this condition here, which is checking the state that we're in. Paste it. And we're supposed to restart when we're on state 2, which is basically the game over state. In addition to that, we want them to press a key, and we're going to have them press the return key. So we want a certain key is pressed. So again, I'm just going to copy this. It's so much faster. And I'm going to change it to the return key. And there we are. Okay, for the action, I'm going to come over here to the scene category, and I'm going to choose change scene, and make sure you put in the quotes, and I only have one scene. That's my main scene. And they say in the tutorial to check this to yes, stop any other pause scenes. We only have one scene, so it doesn't really matter, but it's a good idea to just do that with other games, especially if you have multiple scenes. It makes your game run faster and smoother with less lag. So there we go. Okay, so now what we're going to need is when I press play, you'll see that what we have is there's state 0, and as soon as I press spacebar, I'm now in state 1 where I'm playing, and then if I die, there we go. So you'll see that the game has stopped. I'm in state 2, and then if I press return, I start over again. So now all we need is the text that gives the instructions, and we need scores, things like that. Okay, so for the score, you're going to need a variable. Remember that variables hold values, hold data. They're suggesting that we do what's called an object variable. So the score is going to be attached to something, an object. But then there's also scene variables and global variables. I think it should actually be a scene variable or global variable, but I'm going to go ahead and go along with the tutorial. Okay, so they're suggesting that we do this on the platform. So we're going to go back to our main scene, platform, edit object variables, click on the plus, and we'll call it score. Let's see if that's what they call it. Yep. Again, pay attention to uppercase and lowercase, and hit apply. Almost forgot. Didn't put in a value. The value should be set to 0. Okay, so now we're going to actually do the coding that makes that variable vary. So we're going to go ahead and add an action, and we're going to add it on this top event here, the one that basically spawns the platform. So I'm going to go ahead and add action, and it's going to be variable, and no, it needs to be, okay, common actions for all objects. There we go. Variables, modify the variable of an object. So the object is platform, the variable is score, the operator is going to be add, and the value is going to be 1. So add 1. Okay, good. Okay, so now we need an actual text object that will then show that variable. So go back to our main scene, add an object, text, of course. We'll just call this show score. And for right now, we'll go ahead and use the settings that they did. So let's see, size 20. And there we go. And hit apply. Okay, that looks huge. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to bring it down to about half. There we go. Okay. Okay, so now we're going to actually connect the two. We're going to connect the variable that's keeping the score to the text object that's actually showing the score. So we'll go back to our first event here, and we're going to add another action, and we want to modify the text of a text object. And so I think we want this one here, modify the text. We only have one, so there it is there. Operator is going to be equals to, and the text, this is the important part. It's got to be in quotes. Okay, so the variable, this part here, variable string, that basically means that we're taking a number and we're converting it into the text object. That's what the string part means. And now we put in the name of our variable. Again, be careful that you use capital S for score if that's what you did. And we should be good. And again, you can read a little bit more about that variable string right there. And there we go. Let's save and test. Okay, that is clearly not working. Something is wrong. Okay, so I figured it out. It was a small thing. I went back to my event, or sorry, my action, and I took out the quotes. I was used to putting in quotes, and when you put quotes in here with text, the quotes means to actually quote and to actually put this in there. So it was just taking all of this and putting it in there instead of the number. So now when I go ahead and press play, spacebar to start, you can see that now I've got the number and it's updating itself. And there we go. Yeah, I'm still not happy. His run animation is not quite working. And there we go. But everything does stop, and I can press return, and there we go. Okay, so this next step is a really easy one, and we need to basically make some other text objects in here. So we have to make game over text. It says a score text, but I think we already have that. Press enter to restart and press up to restart. So I'm going to go ahead and pause my recording, and I'll come back when I've got all that made. Okay, so we're back. I don't like how this score text is just saying text. So I'm just going to go to edit object and right down here, I think I forgot to do this. I should just type in 0 so that way it's just starting off with a 0. And again, you can put that anywhere you want, whichever side. I brought in the game over text. There's the starting text, and there's the restarting text. Okay, and again, you can play around with the sizes, but that works. Okay, so we obviously don't want people to see this text, so we're going to need to go to our events and find this event right here that says at the beginning of the scene, and and we're going to add an action, and we're going to search for the word hide, and we're going to hide, and we're going to go ahead and say hide. We basically want to hide game over and restart. So there we go. And then we'll just copy this, paste it, and restart. Okay, so now when we press play, we just see that. Okay, good. Now obviously we need to get that text to now go away. Okay, so basically we need to find the condition. Here we go. When it says our state is 1, which means we're playing, we need to hide. So I'm just going to copy it, paste it, and we're going to hide the start text. Okay, good. Okay, there we go. Press spacebar, and we're off. Excellent. Okay, so you'll see that my score is getting, it looks like it's getting into the hundreds, so I'm actually going to go ahead and put it over here on the left-hand side. I think that'll just make a little more sense, and I can basically get a little bit of a higher score there. Something like that. Okay, and now we need to show the restart and game over texts. So this is the game state 2, and so I'm going to paste the action and actually, nope, I need to do the exact opposite. I need to show, not hide. That would make sense. Okay, so let's do show. And game over. And restart. Okay, and we'll test it. Good. And when I die, there we go. Press enter to restart. Awesome. Good. Okay, so I'm still not happy about his little animation there and the fact that he stays alive twitching when it goes to game over. See if we can figure that out. Okay, so I figured out why my little character wasn't running or animating when he should be, and it's because of this right here. It's basically saying that when the game is playing and in a state of 1, which is the game playing, I had set animation player to idle pose, and I did that because one of the screenshots showed that. So I'm just gonna delete that, and right away you'll see he's now running. And again, I can change the speed if I want, and let's see. Okay, so the only thing that I would still fix is that the little character keeps repeating even though we've gotten there. So the tutorial officially is over though. If I figure out how to do that, I will include that, but essentially, congratulations, you've done the entire tutorial. Okay, so right here is where we have the game over state. So I'm simply just gonna, to stop the whole him still animating when it's game over, is I'm just gonna add one more action here. And I'm gonna type in delete, and I'm just gonna delete the player. So as soon as we enter state 2, which is the game over state, the player will automatically delete. So there we go, and then when the player dies, he just deletes, and it just looks better, it's just cleaner. Okay, good. I would consider that a complete game. And now what I would do is I would replace all of those graphics with my own and make it more challenging and make it more interesting, maybe make some more jumps, hoops that the character could actually go through, things like that. Okay, well, thank you very much for watching this playlist, and I hope it helped you out.